Well, the Obama administration is considering taking action as the civil war in Syria intensifies. The White House is reportedly days away from a decision on aiding rebels in their battle against government troops. Now, we've heard this before. We know you have as well. Is now the time to act? Joining us, Jonathan Schanzer, former terrorism analyst at the Treasury Department and vice president of research at the Foundation for Defense of Democracy. So what about this timing, Jonathan? Why now?
Well, right now we've hit, I think, an inflection point in Syria. The battle for Schanzer, which was just lost by the rebels, is what I believe a turning point in this war.
And let me just stop you there, Jonathan, because people may not be familiar with Schanzer, but that's a very important intersection geographically in Syria. Why is that so crucial?
Sure. It's on the northeast corner of Lebanon. It's basically somewhere right in the middle of the Mediterranean port and Damascus. So it's a crucial supply line. The rebels held it for several weeks, and it was just sacked by Assad's forces. And so it's cleared the way for Assad to go back and forth between the Mediterranean and Damascus. So it was a crucial battle. And the way that Assad won it was by deploying Hezbollah troops as well as Iranian troops. And so it's become very clear now that the so-called axis of resistance, Iran, Syria, and Hezbollah, are all doing battle. They're playing for keeps in Syria. And so this was a major turning point.
And you've done a lot of research on Hezbollah and what this group has done over the years as a terrorist organization. But some, Jonathan, would point out, so you have Hezbollah fighting on the side of Assad, but you have al-Qaeda elements fighting on the side of the rebels. So some will shrug and say, well, let the terrorist groups fight each other. Let's not get involved. What do you think about that argument?
Sure. Well, it's sort of like the Iran-Iraq War of the 1980s. The line then was, it's a shame that they both can't lose. I've likened this battle to something like Alien versus Predator. In theory, we should all just sit back and enjoy the fight. But at the end of the day, somebody has to win. And that is what's deeply disconcerting to all of us here in the West, as well as to the Israelis, the Jordanians, even the Lebanese. They're concerned that one or the other of these actors will come out ahead.
And let's go a little bit bigger with it. Iran has an election coming up on Friday. You said that Iran, as we know, supports Hezbollah. If Assad is able to maintain power, what does that mean for this entire year? Let's just look the year out, Jonathan, with a new administration, if you will, in Iran, still the nuclear program. What is the kind of a 6,000-foot view, if you will, 10,000-foot view of what that means for the region, if that is the case, that Assad stays and the rebels lose?
Well, if Assad is able to maintain power in Syria, it means that the Iranian axis is won. It means that they're able to project strength throughout the region. It means that they can stop, for example, providing huge amounts of weaponry and cash to Syria. They're able to hoard it for themselves. And it means that they will be more likely to be able to withstand the sanctions that we have imposed against them and to project strength in other parts of the region. The other concern that we have is that Hezbollah, which has been fighting in Syria, will be able to return home to Lebanon, where they have 60,000 rockets currently trained south at the Israelis, and that there's a possibility we could see some conflict there as well.
I only have 30 seconds. Is it too late? Too late for our intervention with the good guys of the rebels?
Well, there aren't too many good guys, but I don't think that it's too late. I still think that there's an opportunity here, and I think the administration is right to be looking this as that window, perhaps one of the final windows we have to intervene in a deadly conflict.
Jonathan, it was great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.